Alright guys, welcome to game number 2 of the final best of 3 of the European Sports League Pro Series Winter Cup. That is a long name. Number 1. In the top left we have Alien Invasion's Hanfy as the pink Zerg.
And spawning in on the bottom right side of Ohana, we have the red Protoss player, currently up 1-0 in this series, is Mousesports HasuObs.
Now this is a very elongated map in that it's a tall and narrow map. And Terrans generally like to use mech on this map just because they don't have to be very mobile. But Zerg, I've seen a lot of Muta play, and Protoss have seen just sheer Colossus play for the most part out of all of them because there's not so much blinkage.
And we are seeing HasuObs do his Forge Fest event again. This is coming from a time when this was just starting to phase in. If you weren't Forge Fast expanding, you were losing as a Protoss. Like, there's no way around it. Because you can do it so safely and get such a lead if they try to break it.
Yep, and I believe it's formerly played for Quantic Naniwa. He's got his own personal sponsor now, I believe. He was a Forge Fast Expand or Die motto enthusiast. Little mineral steal from HasuObs. We
first saw this style come in from Protoss. I want to say Season 3 of the JSL with Huck. He started doing this a lot with the Forge Fast Expand and the building play to defend early. And this was before the response from Zerg was to counter with 3 bases. They would counter with roaches. And we saw some really epic games out of that. Oh man, what just died here? That was cool looking. Sorry, never seen that before.
Well, HasuObs wanted to save his probe, so he had to stop his little dance with the drone and blocking the natural expansion.
Yep, he just wanders back in to look for spawning pool and gas timing, and sees he's completely safe with his probe, and just gonna hang around for a little while longer so that Queen is closer to coming out. See the Overlord here, just now seeing everything, seeing what he probably already knew.
Yeah.
This is just the same build coming out. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see another Sentry Immortal bust. It's just such a strong build against Zerg.
And then this was early October, so parting was just getting I mean, what am I saying?
The Korean scene is really far ahead, even now. But yeah, right now there is a super strong 2-base Sentry Immortal push that is really famous against Zerg and Terran, actually.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it utilized against Terran. I thought that Terran had a better setup for it, but those hardened shields from the Immortals really, you can't do a lot against those unless you're pure bio.
And sentries in the numbers that they end up coming in actually do a fairly good job against Marines, especially with Guardian Shield up, takes their damage down, and Marines, most of their damage comes from a lot of small hits, so Guardian Shield helps the most against that, same with the armor upgrade.
Yeah.
And there's HasuObs once again going to block the 3rd base from coming up. He's just going to sit there and wait until the drone comes to make it, as opposed to wasting the resources to block it if it's not coming.
I can't imagine that it'd be a whole lot of fun to be tickled to death by 23 different sentries, but poor Space Marines, it's not an easy job.
They would do it quickly, yes. And this Overlord just chilling here, watching everything go on. Not caring the world until the Stalker comes out. Oh, he's making a Sentry right away, so yeah, this is even more likely to see Sentry Immortal. Just not even bothering to make Stalkers.
Not even going to hide it either.
No, he's got plenty of gas. I think
it's
one of
coming
the
out from Hanfy
where you just know it's coming, and like watching it. Oh wow!
Ooh, wow! Did not expect that at all.
No, and I don't think Hanfy is going to either. He just waited for that sentry to clear out the Overlord a little bit and dropped it right down.
Do you think HasuObs is feeling confident after that first game that he's going to try something a little unorthodox and hope for the best, or does he have an actual plan for this?
I want to say he's just trying to vary his builds and practice it in a high-level game, but this is going to be some Phoenix play, I think. It's
definitely. With it not being proxied, it's almost guaranteed Phoenix. Unless he's going to wait for 3 Void Rays, and by then, I mean, if he hadn't already started it, it would be a little too late to do any kind of damage.
No, we're going to see Phoenix. He's starting his upgrades. Pretty soon we're going to see a whole bunch of gateways come down.
He's already put his forward pylon behind the third of Hanfy.
Yeah, that's just in lieu of blocking the third base. He's going to have that there as a later on type thing. He'll be able to drop down Zealots or even Dark Templar if it comes to that. And we're seeing a fast infestation pit from Hanfy here. This is contrary to what he's been doing in previous games.
Yeah, I'm curious at the lack of a Roach Warren. I was thinking we would see Roachling Bane, but right now all we have is Ling Infester. So, or sorry, not Roachling Bane, Roach Infester Ling, which is a pretty potent combination.
For a while there was a meta running for Zerg, which would be heavy Zergling with Infester backup, and that did well against the Colossus type play that you see from a lot of Protoss players, just because you could use the narrow parasite on the Colossus from so far away and then get your surrounds, and then it didn't matter if they killed the Infester because you already had your surround and the Colossus views weren't so good. And now he reveals his Phoenixes coming in, and Hanfy, wow, he already has 4 colors ready.
Well, he used them to kill the Overlord that was in HasuObs' base, so Hanfy knew all about it and got that forward Spore Crawler up pretty well. But these will be useful later in the game.
A lot of map control here. And also, in team fights, if you're good with Phoenix Micro, they make huge differences. Just picking up key targets and taking them out of the fight.
And HasuObs is just patrolling the map looking for extra Overlords, and Hanfy responds by dropping creep at the third.
Just waited for the hatch to finish and sent the Zealots in. He had them warped in and ready, waiting for the hatchery to finish.
Pretty damn clever. He's going to pick off this queen if he can, but the queen is running back to safety.
There's not nearly enough Zerglings here to deal with these Zealots. He just has to wait for more.
And he got the queen.
He's building 26 Zerglings and 5 Infestors here, so he's going the heavy Ling Infestor style.
I can't say I've seen a lot of that play. I think I was probably watching Stefano stream it, where at the same time he was using just mass Roach instead of Ling Infester.
It didn't last for very long. It had weaknesses, but somehow...
One fungal, but he gets 2 Infestors out of it. That's a pretty good trade.
Yeah.
Nice burrow to protect them.
All the while, the Zealots are still beating on the third base here, just killing droves of Zerglings as they come and try to defend. And yeah, HasuObs here is gonna go on and make a third base, and switch into probably Colossus. Yeah, Colossus.
Yep. And the Spire coming out of Hanfy is, I'm guessing is he making a Muta switch, or is he just getting some Corruptor backup against these Colossus? Because he's making a new third in the bottom, in the left forward, which these Phoenix haven't seen yet.
He's probably going to go Corruptors. Corruptors just kill anything that Protoss has in the air.
Pretty much.
I mean, with the amount of map control he has with these speed Zerglings, he just needs to get the Phoenix off the map, and he has the whole map to himself. And here he's switching into Void Rays. He's going to go Void Ray Colossus. Really, really old school death ball.
Yeah. It's, you actually used that against me the other day, jerk.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of seeing air units in with Colossi when you know you're going to be going up against the Corruptors that Zerg have, because it gives them targets that just prolong the Colossi life, and it just makes them so much more effective.
Actually, the best thing for that for a long time was hallucinating Void Rays with that army.
That's a good
People
one.
never really picked that up. Actual Void Rays do damage though, so it turns out that works as well.
Right. And the hallucinations use up the force field energy.
You can't use that as much with this many Zerglings, but it was better against the more Roach compositions. Against this many Zerglings, you'd absolutely need Guardian Shield and force field.
This Void Ray, I think, is going to get picked off by these first couple Corruptors, because even with these Phoenix, the Corruptors are going to do enough damage. With a little bit of micro, the charge won't be useful at all.
You're just going home with it.
He still hasn't taken his third. HasuObs hasn't, so I think he's actually messing up a little bit.
completely safe before he does. He's got too many pros for 2 bases, so he needs to, but he will wait until he thinks he knows that he's safe to do that.
His money is stacking up, which I'm not a big fan of, and I think Hanfy's going to do a big old burst of roach production just to use up the money he has.
Zerg is in a really good spot. He's on 4 bases. He's got his economy exactly where he wants it. He's got the tech out to make the kind of composition that he wants. The only thing he is not doing really well is upgrading. He has 2 in the armor, but he hasn't upgraded his attacks at all. He has his Zerglings upgraded, but not his roaches that he's making now.
HasuObs is taking out Hanfy's 4th, which was primarily mining gas, 3 in each extractor, but
Yeah,
there wasn't much mineral.
He's just going to let this go and build up his army some more and get some more crawlers down to defend this, because he knows this is a really deadly army.
Those spore crawlers will actually help against the Colossus because they do have decent range on them.
Well, the upgraded range on the Colossus will still outrange them, but if they have to chase infestors into the fight, let's say, then they'll start doing some more damage. And you just see HasuObs just kind of posturing outside the edge of the creep, warping more units into that War Prison. War Prison's very, very helpful in these fights, just to be able to get around.
Especially a fungal, decent fungal, trapping a lot of those zealots. And the Corruptors come in to poke a little bit at the Void Ray Colossi.
Yeah, but the only thing he's lost so much is the Zealots, and Zealots are completely expendable in this army composition, especially with the amount of minerals he has.
And Hanfy's lost a lot of creep, so he's kind of going to be on the maneuvering back foot, as it were.
Yeah, I wouldn't, with the amount of gas that HasuObs here, I wouldn't even mind.
Got a big fungal coming in, bunch of big fungals, and the Corruptors are taking out the Phoenix really easily and going to target out those Colossi, and that one's going to go down if he can catch up with it. Come on, catch up with it. And the Roaches are coming in to really pound on this, but there's no more fungals coming out from the infestors because he's got no more energy. One of the Colossi has gone down, and these Corruptors are doing their level best to catch up, but a little bit of microing from HasuObs has it in the safety of what looks like 13 stalkers.
Hanfy's economy is just too strong. HasuObs could not deal with this, with what he had. He did use the opportunity to get the 3rd base started, but it is not mining yet.
It's under pressure now from Hanfy, coming in with all these roaches and
bust down the door here with what he has left over from that fight. He had nothing to, no economy to remake or anything, so he just straight made units with everything he had.
1 or 2 fungals on this Colossus will actually kill it. And the 3rd base for HasuObs goes down.
Yeah, HasuObs backed into the corner, and that just leaves an optimal place for infested Terrans to help out at DPS.
And there's no blink from HasuObs, so he can't get his stalkers out. They're all going to fall. Hanfy is on a really good spot right now.
He may just go home and remake the 4th, and actually he's remaking the 4th on the other side of the map.
Yeah, it looks like he's leaving his roaches here to do all the damage that they can. And his queen is just there for what reason? You need to transfuse the 1 red roach, it looks like. There's a pylon coming down behind Hanfy's new 4th. Looks like there's going to be some warped-in zealot harass.
That queen just wandered in with it, and she's just there now.
Hey guys, wait up! It looks like there's a huge stalker probe push coming from HasuObs. He's just throwing in the towel with the best, as much force as he can.
Yeah. With this many Zerglings to back these up, that's going to be an optimal army composition to take down what he has. And there it is. Good game.
GZ from HasuObs. Gute Spiele. Alright guys, we're going to go into this final match tiebreaker, and we'll see you in just a little bit.